Have you ever looked at your family's past and felt it staring back at you? I thought I was just exploring an old house. I was wrong. The deeper I dug, the more I realized my family had been hiding something that wanted me to find it. The morning after my first night in the house, I tried to convince myself the whispers and footsteps were just my imagination. But the house had a way of reminding me that it was alive and it was watching. As the sun streamed through dusty windows, illuminating motes of dust dancing in the air, I examined the room I'd come to call mine. The wallpaper peeled in jagged strips, revealing strange symbols and shapes scratched into the plaster underneath. Some looked like faces that shifted when I stared at them too long. A chill snaked down my spine despite the summer heat. Was I truly alone in this house? Or were unseen eyes following my every move? I ventured out, seeking solace in the expansive backyard, hoping to shake off the unsettling feeling that had taken root in the previous night. But the moment I stepped onto the porch, a gust of wind rattled the loose shutters, and the sound sent a flock of birds scattering into the sky. Startled, I hurried inside, seeking refuge in the familiarity of the cluttered living room. But there, scrunched in the corner, was the rocking chair, gently swaying as if pushed by an unseen hand. My heart pounded against my ribs. I told myself it was just the wind, but doubt whispered in my ear. As the hours passed, I wrestled with the unnerving feeling that I was not alone. Then, as if summoned by my thoughts, a noise echoed from upstairs, footsteps. Heavy, deliberate steps that seemed to mock my fear. Clutching a candlestick for support, I ascended the creaking staircase, each step taking me deeper into the labyrinth of unsettling mysteries that this house held. The footsteps stopped abruptly as if whoever had made them had vanished into thin air. My exploration led me to the one place I had yet to venture, the second-floor landing. From here, a narrow corridor stretched before me, its end disappearing into the gloom. Curiosity gnawed at me, urging me forward. As I stepped into the passage, a sudden draft extinguished the candle flame, plunging me into darkness. When my eyes finally adjusted to the gloom, I noticed a change. Scratched into the wall was a symbol I had seen before, the same one that adorned the basement door. Panic tightened its grip. What did it mean? What was it trying to tell me? Then my gaze fell upon a small opening concealed behind a tapestry, a hiding place cleverly disguised. With trembling hands, I pulled it aside, revealing an old photo album. Relief washed over me. Perhaps this discovery would offer some answers. I sank onto the nearby bed and opened the album. Inside, memories lay dormant, faces from my family's past staring back at me. At first, it seemed normal, filled with smiling families, childhood portraits, and grandparents in their prime. Each photograph was a tangible link to my roots. But as I turned the brittle pages, the images began to warp. Faces blurred, scratched away, or smeared as if someone had tried to erase them from existence. Then one photo froze me. My mother stood beside a man I didn't recognize. His face wasn't blurred or scratched. It was completely absent, a pale, perfect void where a face should be. My breath caught in my throat. Was this the source of the unease that clung to me like a shroud? Why was this man in the picture, and why had his face been so meticulously removed? As I probed deeper into my family's past, I found more unsettling discoveries. The voices in the house grew louder, weaving tales of sorrow and despair. The rocking chair downstairs creaked incessantly, and the basement seemed to beckon me with promises of untold secrets. I felt as though I was merely an observer in this macabre play, a spectator in a drama that had been unfolding for decades. At the back of the album was a folded scrap of paper. In the shaky handwriting of my grandmother, I deciphered these 4 chilling words: "The bloodline must continue." What did it mean? Was it a cryptic message from my ancestors, or merely the ramblings of a senile old woman? I grappled with the question, unsure of what to believe. But one thing was clear: the house was not just a repository of memories. It was alive, pulsating with a sinister energy that seemed to draw me deeper into its web. The whispers started again that night, slithering through the cracks in the floorboards. They were clearer now, almost intelligible. They called my name, beckoning me toward the basement. Curiosity and dread warred within me, but the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. Down in the dimly lit basement, I found remnants of my family's lives, relics from bygone eras. Among them, an old trunk lay nestled in the corner, its presence both intriguing and ominous. With bated breath, I lifted the heavy lid, revealing an array of yellowed documents and faded photographs. As I sifted through them, I felt a sense of foreboding wash over me. The photos revealed a lineage marked by tragedy, each image whispering tales of loss and despair. The documents, filled with my family's secrets, spoke of a lineage burdened by a dark legacy. Amidst the grim discoveries, one item stood out, a small wooden idol carved with strange symbols that seemed to writhe and twist in the dim lamp light. An inexplicable urge to break it consumed me. I reached out, and as my fingers brushed against the worn surface, a sudden jolt shot through me. Startled, I jerked my hand back, and the idol tumbled to the ground, revealing a hollow space beneath it. With trembling hands, I reached inside and pulled out a small velvet pouch. Unfastening the drawstring, I found a collection of old keys, each one seeming to hold a piece of the puzzle. Could these keys unlock the secrets buried within this house? Suddenly, a key at the far end of the trunk caught my attention. It was intricately carved and seemed to emanate a strange energy. Drawn to it, I picked it up and turned it over in my hands. As I traced its contours, a surge of power coursed through me. The key fit perfectly into the lock. With a click, the hidden compartment swung open, revealing a stack of old letters tied with a faded ribbon. As I began to read the letters, a horrifying realization dawned on me. They detailed a sinister plot, a conspiracy that reached back generations. The words painted a grim picture of a family entangled in a web of deceit, sacrifice, and unspeakable rituals. With each letter, the walls of the house seemed to close in on me, the whispers growing louder, more insistent. The basement, once a repository of family secrets, had transformed into a chamber of horrors. The truth unraveled before me, revealing a lineage tainted by darkness. My family's past was not just a collection of fading photographs and yellowed documents. It was a testament to the depths of human depravity. And then she appeared in the doorway, her form silhouetted against the flickering candlelight. Her eyes, pools of fathomless darkness, seemed to pierce through me. A twisted smile played on her lips, revealing teeth that were just a bit too sharp, a bit too long. "Looking for this?" she asked, her voice a sibilant whisper that sent chills down my spine. In her hand, she held the key I had sought. My blood ran cold. Who was she, and how had she known I was searching for the key? Her gaze locked onto mine, and in that instant, I knew I had stumbled upon something ancient and evil, something that had lain dormant in my family's past, waiting to be unearthed. The house itself seemed to shudder, as if sensing the return of its mistress. The whispers intensified, forming a chorus of voices that echoed through the halls. Terror tightened its grip, urging me to flee, but my feet were rooted to the spot. I watched, paralyzed with fear, as she descended the stairs, each step bringing her closer. The basement door creaked open, revealing the darkness that lay beyond. Her form vanished into the gloom, leaving me alone in the suffocating silence. I stood there for what felt like hours, the weight of my family's dark legacy pressing down on me. The whispers continued, taunting, tormenting. Then, gathering my courage, I followed her into the darkness, each step echoing the sins of my ancestors. There, in the flickering lamplight, I discovered the chilling truth about my family's past and the horrifying secret that had been concealed for generations. The house, a silent witness to their darkest deeds, now beckoned me into its embrace. As I descended the creaking stairs, the whispers intensifying, I knew I was entering the heart of a nightmare from which there would be no waking. The basement stretched before me, its dim oil lamp illuminating swirling dust motes and casting long, distorted shadows. I gripped the railing, my knuckles whitening, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. With each step, the air grew colder, sending shivers down my spine. And there, in the farthest corner, shrouded in darkness, I saw her seated in a rocking chair. Her hunched figure swayed gently, rhythmically, as if coaxed by an unseen force. The rhythmic creak resonated through the cavernous space, mingling with the whispers that swirled around me. I stood frozen, unable to tear my gaze from the unsettling sight before me. Her gnarled hands clutched a worn photo album, its edges soft by countless touches. A sudden gust of wind slammed the basement door shut, plunging us into near darkness. The oil lamp sputtered, casting grotesque shadows that danced and writhed on the damp stone walls. She remained motionless, her head bowed over the album as if lost in the recesses of her memory. The whispers swelled, their voices growing stronger, more insistent. They urged me forward, compelling me to breach the fragile barrier separating us. With a deep breath, I stepped into the circle of lamplight, my voice echoing in the oppressive silence. "Who are you?" I whispered, the question hanging heavy in the stagnant air. She stirred, her head lifting slowly, and I saw her face, etched with a lifetime of sorrows and secrets. Her eyes, vacant and distant, seemed to hold a universe of pain. Then, in a voice that rasped like dry leaves, she spoke. "They call me the Keeper," she croaked, her gaze fixed on the album. "I have watched over this house for many years, safeguarding the bloodline." My blood ran cold. Bloodline? I echoed, the word heavy on my tongue. She nodded slowly, her eyes never leaving the album. "Yes, the bloodline," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "It must continue." A chill snaked down my spine. Her words echoed the cryptic note I had found in the album, the one with the faded ink and the shaky handwriting. The bloodline must continue. But continue what? Continue the cycle of darkness, the legacy of pain? I felt a surge of protectiveness towards my family, even the ancestors I had never met. They deserved to rest in peace, to have their stories remembered without the stain of their darkest deeds. The clock chimed midnight as I carefully maneuvered through the overgrown garden, the old iron gate creaking ominously in the night. Each step was a dance with the shadows cast by the flickering street lamp, transforming mundane objects into menacing figures. The whispers followed me, their voices slithering through the cracks in the pavement, urging me to hurry. As I turned onto my street, I saw it, the silhouette of my house against the inky canvas of the night sky. Windows like vacant eyes stared back, devoid of the warmth that had flickered within them during the day. The whispers intensified, morphing into urgent commands, propelling me forward. Rushing up the creaking porch steps, I fumbled with my keys, each second stretching into an eternity. Finally, I heard the click of the lock and burst through the door. Inside, the air hung heavy, thick with anticipation. Dust motes swirled in the faint glow of the hallway lamp, and the scent of decaying wood and old paper permeated the air. I raced to the living room where the trunk lay in wait. Each creak of the house, each sigh of the wind seemed to mock my urgency. As I heaved the lid open, a musty aroma wafted out, mingling with the scent of leather and age. Inside, amidst the jumble of trinkets and documents, a single key rested, gleaming faintly in the dim light. Hope surged through me. Could this be the key to unraveling the enigma of the bloodline? Could it unlock the secrets hidden within my family's past? Driven by an insatiable curiosity, I rose and strode purposefully towards the stairs. With each step, the whispers swelled, guiding, urging, promising answers. As I reached the top of the stairs, the key felt heavy in my hand, a tangible link to the generations that had come before me. I turned the newel post, its wood worn smooth by countless hands, and descended the stairs, each step echoing the footsteps of my ancestors. In the flickering lamplight, I discovered the final piece of the puzzle, the revelation that shattered the very foundations of my reality. Thanks for watching Part 2, and if you want to see Part 3, please hit that subscribe button because I'm releasing Part 3 as soon as possible.